Thanks, Phil.
And another 700,000 signatures to get. We're not even halfway yet.
Delirious have just called.
A rock band. They did a gig in Mumbai. Was just an idea to get some interest from other parts of the world.
Shot in the dark, eh, Phil?
Worth a try.
Certainly was.
What happened?
200,000 people signed.
200,000?
And that's not all. They played a gig in Colombia last night. They did the same thing. 400,000 signatures.
Yes! In the remaining 83 days, the team came within sight of their target. We collected petitions from every continent through
Signed postcards.
Thumbprints.
freedom walls,
Website sign-ups.
football events.
A Watford player had been trafficked and he asked fans to text in.
With just over 100,000 signatures to get and only
8 days, Phil.
8 days to go, we tried to get in touch with the Nigerian church network.
We can't be having a voice on behalf of other people and not include Africa. Africa has to have a voice. I think at the time, there was a gathering every month where people would travel on foot far to listen to the sermon.
We were right up against our deadline.
Our hearts were pounding.
This was a mass gathering in a country where trafficking is, well, prolific.
We waited for their response.
And waited.
Waited.
3 days to go.
Waited for news.
Guys, we have news.
Well,
I think you should sit down.
Just tell us.
You need to sit down.
have they said no? If they say no, we are done. There is nothing else to do, no one else to go to.
They gathered hundreds of thousands of Africans in a church as far as the eye could see. They said that we would stop the traffic. We are going to stop the traffic, and would you stand up if you support us? They all stood up, one by one. The footage was amazing. What? They're all signing.
I think in the end, we had 1.5 million signatures.
And a platform to deliver them at the UN's first global initiative to help stop the traffic.
Steve spoke at that event alongside Ricky Martin. But I'm telling you, Steve was better. He preached the sermon of his life. It was brilliant, calling people not to be apathetic.
The UN recognised that Stop the Traffic has relations with people around the world. When people act, things change.
We had this most amazing young woman who had come to us. She first rang Stop the Traffic's office as our number came up when she searched it. She'd been trafficked and talked to vets. She became part of our Stop the Traffic family, sharing and learning together. She came and shared the stage with us as we delivered the petition. She then met with the executive director. She spent an hour sharing her story with him. He listened. He was moved. He learned. When Steve and I were on our way to the airport, Emily, Steve's daughter, phoned. She'd still have been at the conference, and she shouted down the phone, "They've signed the agreement!"
Everyone who signed made a difference.
And will continue to.
Kiri's story is evidence of this, and Veronica's, and Jessica's.
Let's hope it's still possible to rescue soon.
And Bayani.
Remember Kojo?
And his friend Yao. Think about what sort of chocolate you're buying. You choose.
If you don't, you could be buying something that Kojo and his friends suffered to make. Trafficking starts in the community and ends in the community.
Our community.
So what's next? I think we've just got to get ourselves organised, because what's grown is like everything. And that's what I meant about the snowflakes. I mean, if you get 1 trillion and they're all just... That only works if everybody is somehow coordinated.
The problem with our existence is people are competitive. We're only ever going to get ahead of the traffickers if we can predict it. The prediction power of technology is amazing, but there's a frailty of it. But if we can begin to see the migration patterns around the world, the move of where people are going to be vulnerable, if we can get ahead, if we can predict, then we can build that sort of resilience into people. We need to make the trafficking business unprofitable.
On the other hand, technology is the tool globally that enables trafficking to thrive. And we have to work globally. I call it global. We have to connect the two. Network globally, but lead locally.
The choices we all make allow trafficking to continue. If it's cheap, you'll buy it. Who cares whether someone is trafficked or not? It's by closing your eyes and choosing to accept it that it continues. If you ask questions and act on those answers, then maybe you have a chance to stop it.
Everyone's talking about saving the planet, and it's funny, the planet doesn't need saving. It will save itself in the end.
It's the people that need to get it right. What we do and how we treat each other. And honestly, I felt, as I looked around at all these actors, intelligence agencies, governments, businesses, banks, every community, everywhere and anywhere, that none of us can do this on our own. None of us. But we all have a role to play. We have to find a way to shine a light on this global criminal business and see how it works. If we can see it, we can stop it together.